Hey, so on that last segment I filmed, the one in New York, I didn't really explain why I was there. I was there to film some music videos, which was fun, and also record some strings in Bunker Studio for a track. So when the track's released, I can sort of go deeper into that. Yeah, that video, sort of tapered off a bit because I got the worst flu ever in New York, and I managed to get all the work done. And then my day off, I was just sick and then had to fly back. And I'm still not 100%. It's bizarre. And that was 3-4 weeks ago. Anyway, I should say Happy New Year if you're watching at the start of the year, 2025. I hope this is going to be a great year for everyone. Thank you so much for your support in 24 and for watching this channel. I'm of course interested in everyone's thoughts on going into the new year, how they're going to approach it musically. Something short of saying it's a resolution, but maybe you have some ideas, plans, intentions, motivations, that sort of thing. I mean, for me, and I think this is quite common at this time of year, every year, it's the thought to be more business-like with my music without compromising on creativity or artistic integrity, those sorts of things. Sometimes that happens. However, I think, the business side of things are important no matter what. And there are so many things we could be doing that perhaps we neglect. So I think I'm going into 2025 with that in mind. There are a couple of YouTube channels which sort of inspired me in that sense. I'll put links below. Both these two channels I have in mind right now, they have a very good sense of the business side of things when it comes to promotion and just keeping in touch with your audience. I think there are certain things which are unavoidable, such as playlist submission, although you have to be careful how you do that, of course. But playlist submission is important, whether or not it's finding a playlist curator through social media and approaching them and saying, hi, I think my track would be really good for your playlist. And, or something like Submit Hub, of course. That effort / money you put into that will pay off, I believe. And of course, the other side of things is advertising. So for me, I might start looking at Hyped It, just in terms of creating ads for tracks. I mean, just the words coming out of my mouth, it doesn't fill me with joy. But advertising, promotion, I mean, it's part of every business, no? What business survives without promotion? And so what are we doing? Maybe you disagree. I'm of course interested to hear your thoughts. Leave a comment. But I think it's perhaps a necessary evil. And so another aspect of the business side of things is building and sustaining a mailing list. I think a newsletter is very important. We need to show people who are interested, we need to show them, our process, the backstory, show them how we work. YouTube, Instagram, etc. all, of course, vital, but you can just disappear instantly on the whim of them. You have no control over that, but of course your mailing list is yours forever. It's a concrete connection between you and your audience. So we create intangible things for the consumption and appreciation of people who like such intangible things. So your mailing list and newsletter is a very concrete, tangible connection between you, the creator, and your audience. It's an insight into your process, and it's a notification of these new intangible things, so that they're aware of them. In the age of AI and more frighteningly AGI, it's more important than ever to prove in a way that what you create came from up here, not an LLM. Showing your process is a way of doing that, and a newsletter is a perfect vehicle for that. And of course, I take this opportunity to say that I have a mailing list and newsletter, so I'll put a link to that below if you feel like subscribing to that. I try and send out a newsletter every month, or maybe 2 months, and it's basically things about me, about my work, my process, and things that interest me, which of course are things that I think I can assume that would interest you as well. So feel free to subscribe to that. So I guess the big picture is going into 2025, curate your artistic presence through a good business practice. Success is not just being good at your art, but also being able to tell people about it. Anyway, long story short, I guess that's my resolution for 2025. Actually, let me show you something I've been working on recently. So I've been working on a new sample pack. Basically, there are 55 samples. It's more sort of ambient, although what you just heard then was a bit angry. But yeah, so we have 55 of these. Yeah, there's a whole selection of different stuff there. There's quite a lot of lyra, as you can imagine. There's some Rhodes piano, and like that's actually soprano saxophone. You know, there's a lot of stuff there. And this sample pack will be available on my Gumroad site page thing, which I'll of course link below. So still thinking about the promotion side of things of this business. You know, sometimes we complain about having to be present on social media, but we've always had to do something. So I can remember the very late 90s, early 2000s, getting up early, going to, say, ITV studios and miming with a touring artist, Sheryl Crow, Will Young, whoever. And in those days, they used to pick us up by car. And when I first started doing this, we'd get picked up. I lived in Hammersmith, and we'd get driven to the TV studios for 6 a.m., something like that, makeup, and then we'd perform the latest single sort of over the closing credits sometimes, whatever, you know, breakfast TV, miming. And then gradually it became, okay, you have to make your own way into the studios. And then, yeah, no makeup for us. And then it sort of ended, I guess, as I got older. And despite the fact we were miming, including the main artist who would also mime, you know, it wasn't set up for a live performance. It was just unplugged microphones. Despite that, it was still hard work and involved getting up early and a lot of waiting around. So when I say hard work, I mean, you know, it was something you're doing to get paid. And the artist was doing it to promote their single. And everyone just had to do it. Now you can just make a reel. By the way, this is quite interesting. It's quite old now, I think it's 2007. Just started reading it because I saw it mentioned somewhere. It's a very short book, very repetitive. However, it's the usual Seth Godin wisdom. And the dip is an interesting concept. and I think this is worth reading. It's about the dip that we all have to go through as we're approaching a certain plateau of our career, or not just career, anything, pickleball or snowboarding, a language, learning a language, that sort of thing. It's great at first, then it becomes really hard, and that's when you quit. Normally, people quit. However, there's a certain number of people who don't quit and go through that dip and come up the other side, and you flourish. And because a lot of people quit during the dip, once you get to the other side of the dip, there's a scarcity, there's less competition, because you had the tenacity to go through it. And that's when things start going well. You feel you need some encouragement, this might do it for you. It's a very quick read. In the last couple of days, David Lynch sadly has passed away. David Lynch was someone who had the ability to tread that path through the terrain of creative and artistic integrity and honesty, and also financial survival and stability. He managed to navigate through that, reaching the other end and becoming part of a cultural mainstream internationally. I don't know if we'll ever see anyone else like him. So David Lynch epitomizes the sort of inspiration I think we need as musicians. When it comes to making the art we want to make, doing the work we want to do, and having a grasp on the business side of things as well, simply because no one else will help us with that. It's all on us. However, he did surround himself with a tribe of people that he collaborated with in a really fruitful way, which is also another lesson for us. I think being the artist you want to be, surrounding yourself with a tribe of people that you can collaborate with, and knowing the business side of things, that's a start. And David Lynch can be your inspiration. Anyway, these are just some thoughts I've had today when I heard about David Lynch passing away, and it's always sad, but this one seems to be more upsetting than usual. I think we might not see another David Lynch, Thanks for watching again. I'm going to end the video here and see you next time. Okay.
Okay, if you're still watching, thank you. Thank you very much for watching this far. As a reward, I'd like to give you a discount on my new ambient sample pack, which is linked below. If you use the word Batman at checkout, you get a 25% discount. Actually, no, let's make it 30% discount with the word Batman on my new ambient sample pack linked below. Thank you again, and see you next time.